Welcome to the Hope for the Journey podcast, a weekday wellness tips program presented by Dr. Denise Marie, Third Order Carmelite. Dr. Denise is a professionally qualified clinical psychologist, health and wellness professor and coach, counselor, plus medicinal herbs educator. Each Hope for the Journey podcast features a well-being key from Dr. Denise, helping you meet your self-care needs for living well. Listener discretion is advised because this and other Hope for the Journey episodes may contain discussions surrounding behavioral health problems and other actual potentially triggering topics.
Greetings and best wishes to all of our show listeners today. And I welcome you to the first kids episode of Hope for the Journey. I am really hoping that you are having a good day today. Now, I am your host, Miss Ann, because our regular presenter, Dr. Denise, is taking a few days off from her full schedule to rest a bit, and good for her. So I am speaking to you today with the recording help of the all-volunteer radio crew at Fort Wise Kingdom School, which is where I work part-time to assist all the oomphs who do their studies there every weekday. And for those of you who have not heard of Fort Wise Kingdom School, it is located in the one and only village with the name Lively Heart Land. And for those of you who have not heard of the oomphs, they are a small group of 11 special needs orphans who are not fully like other residents in Lively Heart Land. So for today's kids show, you will be hearing about my meeting with one of these 11 oomphs about our discussion, which I call SETTLE DOWN HOPELOOS, an emotional self-care key for living well. The time of my meeting with HOPELOOS is at the end of an after-school club I steer called the Stronger Life Kids Club. So of course, it happened before I normally leave Fort Wise Kingdom School for the day. And for your information, HOPELOOS himself has given me permission to share about our conversation for this unique podcast episode today. So here begins my best memory of the conversation that HOPELOOS had with me yesterday.
Miss Ann, I really need to talk to you now before you take your usual exercise walk home.
Well, first, HOPELOOS, can you give me an idea of about how long you think we need to set aside for this conversation?
Okay then. I don't think I will need more than 25 minutes of your time, Miss Ann.
Thank you, I see. It just so happens that I have a late dinner plan on today's schedule for myself, so I can certainly make this time work for both of us today, HOPELOOS.
Ah, I much appreciate that, Miss Ann, because I feel almost ready to burst with what I need to say.
All right then, you know I care about you, and you have my full attention. So go right ahead and talk about what's going on, HOPELOOS.
Miss Ann, with what has been happening recently with me emotionally, I feel stuck, and that I don't know how to handle it on my own.
And you know that I am here for you when you wish to talk with me in particular.
Yes, and you know that because I am named Hopelooos, that my usual pattern of motion, emotion, or emotionally moving, is to assist myself and others interested to realize that they are not all powerful over every life happening, that it is sometimes best to admit that the hope of something turning out a certain way is no longer possible, that a wanted outcome or specific expected blessing is not going to take place, even with a lot of efforts made for it in advance. That there are times when we need to let go of an idea of how things are going to be, to work out, and let my fellow hopin' come in to give us a different sense of what is possible to happen.
Yes, and I know, Hopelooos, that you usually operate right within your role, knowing where it starts and where it ends.
Thank you, Miss Anne. But I'm sorry to report that I've been lately going out of my usual pattern of movements, actually getting out of balance.
Really, Hopelooos? Tell me how.
Well, I have started moving too much, becoming involved in life happenings of the heart when it's not appropriate, when there is actually cause for not me, but hoping to move in a difficult situation. So I'm now also moving when it's not even my role. So I'm instigating hopelessness when there should actually be hoping the oomph in motion.
Wow, this is news to me, Hopelooos. And it is good that you are bringing this matter up with me as soon as you were ready.
Yeah, and the truth is that it was Hopin himself that recommended I talk over my current emotional challenge with you, Miss Anne. Not only because you are my friend, but also because you happen to be the guidance counseling team leader at Fort Wise Kingdom School.
That was very nice of your brother Hopin. He was truly looking ahead for your own good, Hopelooos. And Hopin knows me well enough to expect that I would certainly make my way to helping you.
You're right, Miss Anne. Though I'm a little embarrassed to say that Hopin even took my temperature and found out that I have actually been running a fever.
This is not surprising, Hopelooos, because when any oomph, such as you, Hopelooos, gets instigated from a situation, there is physical activity. However, your running a fever shows you have been way too mobile these days. Do you have any ideas about when your inappropriate moving around started?
I do. I believe something changed in me at the end of last month, after I had one too many of my plans dashed in way too short a time. It was then that I began overreacting in my own hopelessness.
What you're saying here, Hopelooos, is very important. You are already using your spilling over emotion energy to get to the root of the problem.
That's true, Miss Ann, because I want to find a remedy for my overflow of hopelessness as soon as possible.
So, would you like to meet with me here? Same time, same place? This Friday? To tell me more about those plans of yours, Hopeloo's, that became dashed so quickly last month? Then we can figure out what can be done for a remedy. How does that sound?
Great! It's a deal, Miss Ann. I'm beginning to feel more like my normal Hopeloo's self already.
This is good to hear, Hopeloo's. And we will move ahead with our plan for Friday then. Wait. I just heard a knock at the door. Who is it?
It's me, Hopin', here to see how things are going and to walk Hopeloo's home and all.
Come in, Hopin'. You are a surprise guest here with us today. Yet I am quite glad to see you. Plus, your arrival time is perfect because Hopeloo's has settled down. And he and I are just finishing up our meeting together, so we can all get ready to travel to our homes.
Well, I do like receiving positive news. And this whole family situation is instigating my normal reaction to express who I am created to be, the Hopin' Oomph. So, Miss Ann, would you like to join me in singing my very own Hopin' song? Hopeloo's already knows this song because he repeatedly hears me singing it a lot around the different neighborhoods of lively Heartland.
I would be honored to accept your invitation to sing along with you, Hopin'. This song can serve as a celebration of the peace that comes from each of us doing well, living the life that God has created each of us for.
All right then, Miss Ann, let the song begin. 1, 2, 3, go! Right here in my heart, I have a brightening hope. Right here in my heart, I have a brightening hope. Right here in my heart, I have a brightening hope. Sunny hope in my heart all the time. Good things on the way, I have a brightening hope. Good things on the way, I have a brightening hope. Good things on the way, I have a brightening hope. Rising hope in my heart feels so fine. Blossoming going on, I have a brightening hope. Blossoming going on, I have a brightening hope. Blossoming going on, I have a brightening hope. Growing hope in my heart, made it mine. Growing hope in my heart, made it mine. And Miss Ann, let's give a shout out to Hopeloo's because he has had the courage to face his latest overactivity challenge and improve not only his emotional well-being, but also our Oomph family's peace.
Amen to that. Plus, I really liked singing with you today, Hopin'. Thank you for the surprise of dropping by the club office today. So a safe trip home to you both, my two friends. God bless you, and my best wishes to the other 9 oomph.
Then there you have it, Podcast Kids episode listeners. This is still Miss Ann speaking. And after all the talk today, I wonder how you would feel about doing some normal moving around of your own. Some after-school exercise with music that moves your emotional motors toward getting more physically mobile. The music video I recommend using for this exercise time is called Dance, Dance, Dance. It shows a fun band of movers and shakers named the Flizbins. And you can find this Dance, Dance, Dance video on YouTube using the link I provide first in the description of today's podcast video. Plus, besides spending a bit of exercise time with Flizbin friends, parents tuning in here can even check out other wellness helps we feature in our Hope for the Journey podcast resource center, located on Instagram at Cause for Hope. And to finish things up this evening, I wanted to tell you that it has been a blessing to have been invited by Dr. Denise to host this podcast for you today on the important quest to settle down hopelooos, which is an emotional self-care key for you too. Not to let losing hope about a situation get you to a place where you are feeling hopeless about everything that is not working out. So God's best to you of continued hope for the journey of emotional well-being.
The Hope for the Journey program airs weekday evenings from 7:45 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram and YouTube. Dr. Denise thanks you for listening to her Community Wellness podcast and wishes you to keep in mind that there is cause for hope of more well-being.